Hello everyone, welcome back to Indie Venture, a podcast all about the wonderful world of indie games. I'm joined as ever by my two wonderful co-hosts, Rebecca Jones.
Hello.
And Rachel Watts.
Hello.
I just want to start this episode before we get into what we've been playing with a little bit of an announcement. So we've been going for 2.5 years now as Indie Venture, which is kind of wild when you think about it.
Yeah.
Over 3 years since the podcast that shall not be named. Not what we call it. Redacted podcast.
Redacted. Season 0.
And as a lot of you will know, a lot of long-time listeners will know, especially those who have begged us repeatedly to give us money, and we have rejected those calls for 2.5 years, we have decided to do something, a bit of a one-off, basically, and we'd love your help and support for this. So, for starters, you might have noticed that there's new podcast art for this episode and a new header image, which Rachel is going to talk about in a second. But this is all to kind of not reboot the podcast, but just sort of bring it more in line with where we've wanted it to be for a long time. So not only have we finally got new art and a new header image, which just looks fantastic, we're so happy with the art, but we'd also like to ask you for a little bit of moolah. Now, we're not really of the opinion that we want to charge you every month for this, because we don't want to be producing more content, because we feel like that would take up too much of our time and we wouldn't be able to, our heart wouldn't be in it, I think, if we were doing extra episodes and things like that. However, we do pay money to host this podcast. We actively refuse to host on Spotify. We host on an independent platform. We have to pay for the website and for web hosting costs and for the domain name and things like that. And on top of that, we've also been keen for a long time to get Rachel and Rebecca new microphones that don't pick up every single chair squeak and can handle Rachel's particular outbursts.
That's so true.
So I think what we're basically asking for is a little bit of cash. So we've set up a Ko-fi page. You can go to ko-fi.com/indieventure, and on there you can see the amount of money we're asking for. We're going to absolutely lay out how much our operating costs are and what kind of microphones we're after for these two. And then that's kind of all we want. We don't want too much money. We don't want any more money. If we do get more than we're asking for, we'll probably use that to buy nice picky teas when we're together again in Yorkshire later on this year. But we don't take our listeners for granted. We never have. We understand that over the last few years, money has been very tight for a lot of people. And as the games media industry crumbles around us, a lot of people are going independent, and we understand that a lot of people are paying monthly for games media, which obviously we're a big supporter of, and we love that people are doing that. So we're just asking for a little bit, and we're going to run this for 2 weeks. This isn't going to be a permanent thing. We're not going to always have a tip jar. We're just going to do it for 2 weeks. We might bring this back every year. We haven't decided yet. We've been talking about doing this for about 12 months. So the fact we're even doing it is kind of wild. So this will run from the day this podcast comes out, which is the 16th, up until the 30th of April. So the 16th of April to the 30th of April. You can go to ko-fi.com/indieventure. Give us some money. And the first 5 people who give us £5, I will send you some Indie Venture stickers in the post of our new logo. It's not a huge amount. I might seal it with a kiss. I might write you a little post-it note. If you would like a little deranged post-it note from your boy, you can get that too. First 5 people to donate, I'll get in touch. Give me your address, give me the details of where you live, and I will send you a little letter. And just want to say in advance, thank you. I hope we don't get an embarrassingly low amount of money. That would be hilarious. But even a small amount of money will help pay for all of our operating costs, and that's the bare minimum that we're after. So thanks in advance for that. And if you want more information, it'll be on the website. Please! Fangamer, if you'd also like to sponsor us, Fangamer.
Oh, yeah, actually, Fangamer. Yeah, can we talk?
Yeah. Fuck the microphones. Just send us cool Ace Attorney shit. But yeah, Rachel, please talk about this new art because you've been heading this project and we're both, all of us are so excited about this. So talk about it.
So we have been thinking about a new logo for Indie Venture for so long. As you know, we love our sword and we love our pink. Obviously the pink and the sword didn't go anywhere.
The pink stays.
But yeah, we just wanted a bit of a refresher. So we were talking about potentially who we were thinking about maybe drawing or designing our logo for us. And all three of us were super impressed with Simon's animation he did of us. Like, was it literally when we first started or a little bit
really early?
It was like November 2023, I think. It was when we just started, yeah.
Yeah, so Simon, he's on Blue Sky, Simon WL. I reached out to him. I DM'd him. And I guess as well, he did Liam's wedding present. Me and Rebecca commissioned him. And so, he was so lovely. He took in all our very crazy ideas for Liam's wedding present and made it into something so cohesive and, dare I say, beautiful, stunning.
Oh, it's so good. It is.
It's a stunning piece of art.
So when I reached back out to him, I was like, hey, would you be interested in designing us a logo? He was so on board, and everything that he has sent us has been so fucking good from beginning to end, the whole process. And then, first we started with the logo, and that was such a tough decision. Oh my God. These will never see the light of day, but some of the designs were so fucking good, and we were like, they're all amazing, and we need to decide on one. And that process was fun. And then we also have the banner, which features obviously us three and a bunch of other indie game and maybe not so indie game references. And I literally just sent Simon like a list of just like, maybe this, us three are in it. Maybe we're this, maybe we're doing that. And Simon has just been so understanding and creative and wonderful. And these are the results. I love them so much. I love both the designs. We kept the pink. We kept the sparkles. It's fun. The sword is there. I just feel like it really represents who we are now. It's like an evolution.
Yeah.
And I'm just so happy with how it turned out and how it looks. Thank you, Simon, so much.
Thanks so much, Simon. It's been such a pleasure.
Yeah.
Oh, they're just the best. Yeah, please check out all of their work. They have their own podcast. They do loads of different art. They've done a graphic novel, is that right? As well?
Weird Dogs. Weird Dogs is the webcomic that they do. And it's just amazing person. Simon, thank you so much. And
thank you so much, Simon.
Thank you, Simon.
It's been great. And if you want a commission, if you want someone to commission, maybe reach out to Simon. If he wants to work, that's all I'm saying. Simon, if you want a reference, I'll give you a reference. I'll give you anything you want.
Absolutely.
One small regret I have is that we didn't go for a logo that was maybe like a really overly designed mini map that was a purple colour that sits in the corner.
I love the mini map.
Hindsight, I like the mini map too, but in hindsight, see what Simon's done now. You're like, wow, this is the cleanest, best branding we've ever had as a podcast trio. In nearly 4 years.
Yeah. You got to think what it's going to look like as a tiny circular thumbnail on someone's like phone screen using Spotify, and that's got to be where it reads from. And this looks so good. If you follow any of us on social media, you're going to see, I think, a lot of because we have individual portrait art as well from the banner, which I think we're all pretty keen to change all of our socials to that. Yeah. I will be at long last getting rid of the sim of myself that I made in like 2014. That's going to be
which Simon worked from originally when he did our animation.
I know, because
he's worked from your sim avatar.
There's only I think one photo of me online. So
like an author profile.
Simon did I don't have pictures of myself. I have one picture of myself online. That is in any way findable, I think, which is my author profile. So Simon worked from the sim I made, and it looks really good. So this is a very nice refresh, I would say. Yes, it's really very exciting.
You know, instead of having just the name of the podcast and some indie characters face planting
and Edgeworth.
Which at the time we thought was fucking hilarious.
Hey, it is funny, but the joke has run its course.
I still like the joke. Obviously, the new one is like infinitely better, but it is hilarious how quick you in particular, Rachel, just turned on it. We were on holiday last year together, By the way, I tried to redo the logo and very quickly were like, no, we need to pay someone to do this. I've got no graphic design skills whatsoever. But we were talking about the header and you were like, we've got to get rid of this header. We've got to I hate this header. It makes me feel ill. It's so bad.
There is the one aspect as well of it, like I like the header and I like the joke, but I was very reluctant to monetize anything until we got rid of copyrighted materials from Capcom games. So
because
I was like, yeah, we probably shouldn't be trying to monetize this until we have new artwork. So, you know, hence the coffee, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just feel like I feel like we're a bit more. Not that professional ever entered my vocab when describing us in any way, but no. I do feel like looking at this logo and looking at this banner, I just feel like it's more us. I just feel like it's dynamic, it's energetic, it really gets across what we're about. Yeah. I just, I like, and the pink, the pink.
Yes.
I think it just like, we've put over 100 hours into this project, right?
Oh, well over at this point, yeah.
Even though this is like very firmly still a hobby and it's not something that we see as like, you know, a full-time gig, right? We do this because we enjoy it and that's always been our, you know, primary reason for doing it. I do think there's something just about presenting ourselves in a way that is like, yeah, we're here, like we're having, you know, we're putting out some bullshit, we're having a laugh, but we are like serious and, you know, we want to be taken seriously. And I think this really sets us up for that moving forward, I think.
Yeah. And stickers. Yeah. And I'm literally going to put it on so much shit. Maybe I should get a cap with the Indie Venture logo on the cap. Like there's so many things I want to do.
Oh, that'd be so good. We should do t-shirts, but just for us three.
Yes. Oh my God. I would love that bright pink.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'd be so good.
Or like maybe really like golfing shirts when it's like it's embroidered in.
Oh my goodness.
That's so good.
That's a horrific thing.
Oh my God.
I love it.
Well, if you like the thought of merch down the line, why not give us some money now for no merch? co-fi.com/indie venture. Money, please.
Thank you, honestly.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Right, okay, so now we're done begging for scraps.
I know. Please, sir.
Please,
some food.
Just a fiver, so we can hear each other clearer over the internet.
Oh my God.
We are going to do what we've been playing. It's going to be a bit of an interesting what we've been playing because I've been playing very little, but I'm going to find 3 things to talk about. We were having a little chat before we started, which might be interesting to kick us off with. What, do we have a game of the year yet? No. How does this year feel? Feels a bit like there's going to be people list. I'll about to say it feels a bit like there's not been much that's captured us. I know that people in the Discord are going to be like, here's 50 games you've never even heard of that are great. And like, I wish you all the best. Please do that. But for little old Liam, not a huge amount has like swept me away so far. How about yourselves?
Yeah, I agree. And there may be 50 games that someone will come up with or whatever, but normally around this time, you know, in journalism in general, you would see a couple of quote unquote front runners, right? People
Absolutely.
like games that have entered the zeitgeist of conversation. And honestly, apart from maybe Cairn, which I'll talk about in a bit, maybe Mewgenics. Mewgenics was a big one. Slay the Spire 2. But the thing is, like, there's been those, but nothing that's really like grabbed onto us 3 in particular. And even then, that's still not loads. Like, I wouldn't say... I guess they're very highly anticipated. Like, Mewgenics everyone was waiting fucking years for that to release. And Slay the Spire 2, obviously, it's a big indie that got a sequel, so love to see that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very much in the corner of nothing has grabbed me massively just yet. I don't know. Weird. And it's April, so it's a bit like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling?
I mean, same, really the same. And obviously, like, because I tend to sort of straddle the divide a little more. I have the AAA side, which is like my day job, and I'm interested in that as well. Really, when I say nothing has jumped out at me so far this year, I really do kind of mean nothing has jumped out at me. With the big caveat that Rachel and I are both poised to start Pokemon Pokopia, which we have a good feeling about. But like beyond that, I played Resi 9. I thought it was really fun, but it didn't leave a huge lasting impression on me. I've put 100 odd hours into Heartopia, and I'm kind of over that. And in terms of just, you know, a bunch of other little indies and sort of shorter AAAs have just come into my orbit, and I'm having a good time minute to minute, but then they just leave again and I'm not thinking about it. And I was just saying to you guys, like, by this time last year, I was like 60 hours into Blueprints, probably. It was,
Yeah.
it had already really grabbed hold, and I already kind of like, and it varies. Like, some years have a very fast start, some have a slow start, but I can't remember the last time I got to early April without having any idea what my game of the year might be, even, which is kind of a wild feeling. I'm kind of glad that you guys are saying this as well, because I'm like, is it me? I was really like, am I just numb to the possibilities of good games in 2026? But now that you guys have said it as well, I'm like, okay, this is reassuring, oddly, you know. But yeah, it's not that I've not enjoyed anything, I've just not loved anything yet, which is kind of the distinction for me, I think.
I feel like normally one of us is like, this is the best year so far, right? Usually it's rare for the three of us to be a bit like, but there's been a few things that, there's been a few things, like, I'm going to talk about Mewgenics today, but alongside that, like, I'm not really thinking too much of Slay the Spire 2 because it's early access. So I'm sort of like,
right? Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sort of like, in my mind, I'm like, I've played it, and it's really fucking good, especially in co-op. But it's like, it doesn't, a bit like when Hades 2 came out, I'm like, well, I'll think about that when it's got 1.0. Yeah. But I was just looking at OpenCritic there while we're talking, and there's like a few things in here, but I played a bit of Demon Tides over the weekend. That's had a lot of buzz around it. I did not get on with it at all. I thought it was like super floaty and like not great. And also I played a bit of that Racoin coin push again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. You said.
And I just did not get on with that at all. Another example of a roguelike, a bit like Ball Lillionaire from last year.
Yeah, I know the one you mean.
That's just sort of like, here's a bunch of randomness, and like the result of that is either a run is really massive and like loads of shit's popping off, or you fail after like 2 rounds because you just haven't got any kind of synergies. So yeah, like even the things that are sort of getting a little bit of buzz are not really doing it for me, which is a shame. So like you said, some years get off to a slow start, right? Like hopefully this will change. Maybe we're not looking in the right places.
Do we think the call is coming from inside the house?
I
think that's my question, because all three of us, I don't know if we're really...
Yeah, no, that's the thing, is I feel like we represent different kind of like views on this, to the point where it's very rare that all three of us would have this kind of like negative consensus. I don't want to say negative as in like, I don't think we're feeling particularly like miserable about it, but we all are certainly noticing that nothing's really cropped up yet. And it is rare because, you know, you've got Rachel with like, you've got the oversight on just all of the... I don't believe that a group that includes Rachel Watts has not heard of the secret indie gem that is going to blow our minds. I can't fundamentally believe this. I can't.
Yeah.
I just think maybe I saw 3 personally. Like, I know me and you, Rebecca, from the beginning of the year, we were a bit like, we're taking things a bit slower this year.
Yeah,
Liam, I know
true.
you have not been playing much at all and have really been into the AAA space, like really like into it. So I just, sometimes I'm like, you know, it could just be us. But also, you still hear of these things. And I just don't know if I don't know, maybe there's nothing that's really standing out apart from potentially Mewgenics, which we'll get on to. Oh, yeah. Wow. What a weird year. I'm feeling a bit weird.
You know what I will say, though? Just really quickly before we get into this. I have been reminded lately of the fact that I have had my eye on Forbidden Solitaire for a while.
Yes!
And I'm like, that's the thing that's pinging my radar at the moment.
That's coming out this month.
That's coming out this month. So I feel like if anything's going to break me out of this slump on the indie side, it might well be Forbidden Solitaire. So let's check in again in like a month.
That's the thing. There are games that I'm like, I can't wait for this to come out.
Yeah.
Tangle Tower sequel. But it's just like, nothing, it's weird that nothing is like, I'm like waiting. I'm not really used to that. Normally I've got a few games going on, but I'm like waiting. Like I looked back through to try and pick some games for this episode, and I was just like, oh, there's nothing that like I could talk about this and this and this, but most of the times when we do these, I'm like, I'm talking about these three locked in. Well, let's go.
Normally I have to cut the list down. Like,
yes.
What's wild about this for me is that I'm talking about some things today that I didn't talk about on the last What We've Been Playing.
Yeah.
And
like, I've got 2 demos and an early access game to talk about. So like, you know.
Yeah, bit odd. And I know a lot of times people are like, oh, you know, there's so many games, but maybe discoverability is getting more difficult. I don't really know.
Am I getting to, maybe I'm being very blinkered by my own experiences at the moment, but I feel like we lost so much in terms of games media coverage in the last 2 years. And, you know, it's a little incestuous because we all work there, but like at the same time, that is how you learn, is that you have, you know, other games journalists with the inside line, you read their work, you talk to them, you find out stuff that way, and just like a lot of those lines of communication have kind of broken down. You know?
I think we are old. Because
love that.
That's 100% fair.
Yolly follows a lot of Instagram accounts that do like slideshows of cool indies. Yolly finds more now than I ever did, but I think that's because she's more locked into.
True.
She has like YouTube people that she follows that do like, here's 10 cool games coming out. To be fair, most of them don't understand what the word cozy means because they're like, here's 10 cozy games. Number 1, Split Fiction. It's like, all right, fuck off. But we did a whole episode about that. But yeah, I don't know whether maybe because we're so used to the traditional media machine, there's actually a lot out there that we're just not like plugged into. Maybe.
Oh yeah, trust me. I mean, at the moment, my day job is trying to write written guides for people who want video guides, and that's a generational divide, but it's also like a real challenge that we're facing at the moment. And you know, I am just but I'm like I'm not an elder millennial, all right? I'm a proper middle-of-the-road classic millennial. I was born in 1990. So, yeah, I'm like, I am getting a little old, to be honest. And I accept that. But at the same time, I'm not making an Instagram or a TikTok account. So it is what it is.
No, same.
I do watch a lot of YouTube. And to be fair, I get a lot of my indie recommendations from YouTubers who I follow because I like the sort of games they pick out. So there's definitely something in that.
That's interesting. I installed TikTok today and I went back to it and I had a look and I just counted them, 13 games to my wish list. I did that today.
Nice.
I did notice on the activity feed on Steam you added a lot. Yeah. So there you go, right? That the discovery engine is still alive and well. It's just not in the places that we would normally look.
Yeah. It's
and
crazy.
I feel like that shift has been quite recent as well. It's got that sort of chicken and egg feeling to it, hasn't it? It's just like, are people going to other platforms because we have been like paring down games media, or is it a reaction to that? It's so hard to, there's so many factors at play, and it's so hard. I won't get all the way into it right now because otherwise it'll be just me ranting about like Google AI for 3 hours and no one wants that. So
boo,
let's not. But
but we've got a nice selection of games today.
We do. As always, the best recommendation engine is Indie Venture, a podcast all about the wonderful world of indie games, in which 3 people constantly say, how do we find indie games? And yet we still manage, so maybe we're doing okay.
There's so many. There's still so many.
There's so many. Who would like to go first?
I could go, because I can talk about about Cairn. My journey with Cairn and Cairn, and how it has come to an end. My journey has finished. I finished it before our break, so maybe early March or late Feb. I really enjoyed it. I paused because it's an interesting game in that there's a lot going on. Like, it's quite complex. For those who don't know, Cairn is the climbing game that is more like realistic climbing, not like peak climbing, where you play as a climber who wants to reach the summit. No human has reached the summit before. You can control each of her limbs as she climbs the mountain. It's supposed to be quite difficult. And it is difficult. And I think I said this before on the podcast. I went in with the difficulty, like accessibility on, and then I switched it off, which is I've not done that before. I was like, no, I'm going to play this game as the game bakers intended, in quotation marks, I guess. And I will switch the difficulty to normal, like bog standard difficulty, and it was really fun. I had a really good time. The story, it's interesting. You know how we talk about unlikable characters? I think Ava, the main character of this game, do I like her? I like her in the fact that I don't like her. And I think actually this game would be a really interesting character study of her. But ultimately, I don't know if all the themes that the game was going for land quite as much as the game bakers wanted to. This idea of like, this question of why do humans, and this counts for people in real life as well, why do they put themselves through this? Like, what part of humanness of this desire is it to climb fuck off huge peaks and be like, yay, I did it, and then almost die? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is that about? Like, why do we have that? And I'm not sure if this game really got into the nitty gritty of it, which is pretty complicated, but I did enjoy it. Did I enjoy the civilization being called troglodytes? No, not at all.
Whoa.
I actually did not like any of the ancient civilization aspects of this game. I thought Jusant did a way better job. I don't know if troglodyte, does that descend UK? Because in the UK, that's like an insult. That's like an insult to call someone a troglodyte. And I don't know if outside of the UK it's a thing. But anyway, I mean, it is like an archaeology term, but it's like to call someone primitive. So to call, it's like you would say this is a troglodyte culture or society in like a bad way. So it's very odd. I found that term very odd. I don't know what was going on there. I've not seen many people mention it. So I was a bit like, I don't know. Question mark. But I did not like any of the civilization aspect. I thought it was all quite crudely done. Jusant, another mountain game where you're climbing a mountain, had a much more nuanced take on the civilization and what they wanted to achieve and why they were living. And but everything else in Cairn really liked. I thought the climbing mechanics, really fucking good. Weather mechanics, amazing. There were times when I was on that mountain and I was fighting for my fucking life and I was like, I'm having a great time. And Ava's like, could you like lock in? And I'm like, I'm just having this. I really enjoyed the quote unquote realism when it came to Ava and her climbing, to the point where I felt so locked in with her body. Like, the audio design of this game is fantastic. Like, I knew exactly what she was feeling through her breathing alone. And I was like, I've got you, girl. Like, we're climbing this thing. You get to near the end of the story, you have a couple of end game decisions to make. I thought those were really well done. And ultimately the ending I chose, I was very happy with. A very confusing game. I think there were things that I really liked about it, things that I wasn't so liking about it. But I think I'm coming away positive about it. Like, if someone was like, wanted a narrative, like, based, quite difficult game in which the story is told through the actions and the body of the character, I'd be like, absolutely play the shit out of this. Also, it's pretty. That helps a lot when you're struggling. You're like, at least it looks nice. But I don't know if this would be a hard recommendation from me. But I did enjoy it. But yeah, it's one of those games as well where, I don't know, a lot of time on the podcast, I'm like, this game was great. And I'm like, this game is great. It's great. This game, it's right down the middle for me. I don't know whether I've cooled on it a bit, because when I finished it, I loved it. I was like, this is amazing. But it might have been, what's the high you get when you finish and like climb a mountain, you get to the top and you're like, yeah, the king of the world. It could have been that. Yeah. I was like, this is the best thing ever. And now it's like a month later and I'm like, what was I thinking? It's like when I watched the Twilight marathon movies all in one go, and I was like, this series is so underrated. It's the best like film anthology I've ever seen in my life. And then I woke up the next morning with a hangover and was like, oh, what the fuck was I thinking? This feels like that. So maybe I've like massively cooled on it, but Yeah, I don't know. That's not all I have to say.
No, that's fair. I mean, that's what we were talking about in the last episode. That's why we don't put recent games into the vault, right? Because like your first
100%.
and second thoughts are both valid, but you do need to wait, let them percolate, give the time in between some space, and see how you feel about something after a little while.
I guess like this is kind of the narrative of this game since release everywhere, right? Because I feel like it got like some decent write-ups, and then it just has been memory holed pretty fast, which is a shame. I like the game makers. I think they're a very talented team, but this one just didn't seem to have hit maybe in the same way. Maybe hasn't like lingered in the mind as much as people maybe expected it to. Yeah.
So is it going to be in my top? No, top nothing. I don't think, but I did enjoy it. And like we said before, game makers are always doing something unusual. They're always trying new things, and I respect that.
Thank you for your Cairn update. I love that.
Nice.
Yeah, the journey has come to an end.
I like that. We should do more follow-ups on things, because
Yeah,
this was the game
we
you
should.
talked about. This is a game you were talking about in our last What We've Been Playing episode, right?
Yes.
In January, sort of February time.
Yeah.
So yeah, more updates. That's
More
a good-
updates.
Also, like that's a good idea for a format. We could get
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
Format
Updates.
locked in.
we could get something out of that format, guys.
Well, speaking of revisiting a game we've played, Wicked Seed added 4 new outfits.
Oh God, no!
No. But I will go next. Rachel, while I have you, I would like to very briefly hyperfixate with you about Rise of the Golden Idol, if you don't mind.
Let's go!
because Yoli and I finished this over the weekend. So Rise of the Golden Idol, for those who don't know, if you're a long-time listener to this episode, you're not listening hard enough if you don't know what we're talking about. This is by Colour Grey Games. It's the sequel to Curse of the Golden Idol. Case of the Golden Idol?
Yeah, case of the Golden Idol. I thought I nodded. I was like, yeah.
Absolutely,
I was
very
get
convincing.
confused. Yeah. This is a deduction game where you observe scenes of horror, either someone dying or something awful happening, and you have to click around the scene, this scene frozen in time, to check in people's pockets and to see what they're saying and to pull words out from lots of different places, and then you've got to Mad Lib style fill in a list of events with blank spaces in, using the words you found to try and figure out what happened purely from context clues and observations in the scene. It also has additional puzzles in, like who are these characters, find out their names, or who lives in these houses, or what birds are these? I almost said genre of birds. What species of birds are these?
Oh, I like that.
Love the bird. Love the bird level.
The first game, Yoli and I had a bit of a strange relationship with, because we played it literally after we finished Obra Dinn. Like, I think we finished Obra Dinn one day, then we started Golden Idol the day after, and it sort of muted it a little bit for us, because it's very good, but I think you can't play it straight after Obra Dinn and expect it not to be slightly muted. We had such a different time with Rise in comparison. We adored this game. I think,
hell yeah,
in hindsight, the puzzles are better in Rise. I think it is a more confident game. I think Colour Grey came out swinging with this sequel. I think they knew they had the good shit. And they knew that all they had to do was just do more of what they'd already been doing in the original game and its DLC. I was surprised, I guess, by one or two things. One, visually, it is still awful. All of these people are grotesque, but it's much cleaner. Where the original game had a pixel art style, this has almost like a painterly style, and I think it suits the world much better. I think it's narratively, I think it's much better than the original, which I didn't expect to say, because I thought the original game, which is about an alternate history and a group of elite people who use this idol to gain better status in this alternate history UK. I think it's meant to be the UK. This one is about a group of scientists in the 70s, so nearly a century after the events of the first game, discovering an idol. I don't think it's the idol from the first game, is it? I think it's a different idol, which has a different set of abilities, and you are uncovering the capabilities of it alongside this strange organization. And
Yes.
I just felt like it was a more cohesive story. I felt like the first game had grander ambition and it was good for that. But there's something about this one that feels a little bit more small scale, and as a result is a bit easier to follow. And I think it also helps as well that the game, after you do 4 cases, basically asks you to summarize the story so far, which I think is a really great little bit of puzzle design, because not only do you have to, solve the puzzle of what's happening, but it means that when you get to the last few puzzles, you can look back at those almost like case notes to like, right, okay, well, what is happening here? And also I think the puzzles were great too. There's quite a few puzzles that aren't about murder. It expands that view a little bit more. There's a great puzzle around a dance.
Oh, the dance!
The dance is incredible. You've got to try and decipher a dance. But yeah, I just felt like some of them were very smart. They played with space and time very well. What the idol is capable of doing is very interesting. And yeah, we're going to play the DLC for this because obviously you've spoken so highly of it.
Oh yeah,
but we're going to let this simmer for a bit now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we fucking loved it, Rachel. It's so good.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, welcome. Oh, I'm so happy you enjoyed it, because I remember all those God, was it a year ago when you and Yoli played it straight after Obra Dinn, and that was on
in Discovery. I don't think
oh
this was in
shit,
did that. Yeah,
because that is one way to kill a good game, is to play the best game of the same genre literally right before it. So I'm really happy you got like a nice clean slate for Rise. I agree with everything you said. I think the scope is much more manageable. I love the in-between cases, like roundup of like, right, so you've done the cases, let's see what you know. Fill in this like page of characters and events and dates. Oh, it just really made sure that you were like, knew the story, kept up to date. Because in the first game, that it doesn't, you can get a bit, I definitely got a bit confused. I didn't quite understand who was who, and sometimes, and there's some little time skips here and there, and but this game, nah, you're like, it checks in with you all the way through. And yeah, I love the car park with the cinema. I love that one so much, because everyone's dressed up as cosplay. So there's so like, good. I just think it's so, how many different scenarios can Color Grey Games come up with in which murder and mayhem ensue? Like, it's honestly so fucking cool. But yeah, I'm so happy you enjoyed it, and Yoli, of course, as well. And I'm glad you played it together. That's a really good idea, because I locked in on my own for that one, but that's really cool. Did you take notes?
Oh yeah, we've got a book just for detective games.
I love
so
that.
It's got blueprints notes in there, which are significantly more strangled in the way that my handwriting is. But it's funny because we don't play every detective game together. So I play TR49 myself.
Oh yeah.
But mostly Yoli and I play them together. So there's loads of like insane Lorelei notes in there.
Yeah.
And it's got a lot of Obra Dinn notes and everything like that. But as she was flicking through for this, and we had all our Golden Idol notes, she was looking at my TR49 notes, and she was like, what the fuck was this that you played?
That's nice.
Yeah, no,
that's lovely. I
truly excellent game. You should play it, Rebecca.
I want to do the notebook thing as well. I think we would. We're trying to plan like some more gaming stuff together at the moment, and I'm like, goodness knows how it's going to go. But I do think I might have to put my foot down and be like, we're starting the notebook, because when we moved, we probably mentioned it in the last episode, we moved house literally last month, and I ended up throwing out all my blueprints notes because we just kept them on loose pieces of paper, and so like,
that's such a shame.
Yeah, because I just can't keep them. I was like, it's either try and like, you can't even bind them into something, because some of them were just on the backs of them. We were so locked in on that. We were just grabbing envelopes, we were grabbing notes, like post-its. We were just so sadly those have
a
gone.
Notebook for that. Yeah, that's wild. That was loose paper.
Well, we started out with a notebook, and then it sort of spilled out into whatever was to hand, because the notebook was quite small. So, yeah.
Golden Idol's more manageable because of the cases. Like, you can finish a case in an hour and then have a break, or do another one and for like an hour, a half an hour to an hour, and then have a break. It's so much more regimented. It's like an episode of a TV show. That's how I would describe it.
Yeah, episodic gaming. It is underrated. honestly, in a lot of ways. I know it's out of fashion a bit at the moment, but I think it is underrated.
I think Dispatch might have brought it back a little bit. I think
That's true.
yeah.
I need to play Dispatch, actually.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. So that's me, Murder and Mayhem. Rebecca, what's your first game?
So the first couple of games I'm going to talk about actually are demos that I played on Valentine's Day weekend. And I know life's been crazy. I've been trying to write these up for a blog post for literally 2 months and it's just not happened. So when we decided to do this topic, I was like, screw it. This is the universe saying this needs to be a podcast, like front and center. And yeah, just before the last Steam Next Fest, which I know that Rachel, you and Robin had an extra episode where you covered that.
We did,
but
yes.
Just before that, a bunch of horror devs that I'm interested in had the idea of like, if there's romance in our horror game, let's put a demo out on Valentine's Day, which I thought was like a little mini unofficial like horror romance Next Fest for Valentine's Day, and I played some demos. The first one that I want to talk about is the new Sucker for Love game that it turns out was announced last summer, but I missed it because Akabaka has changed publishers. I have been unable to ascertain what's happened, but it's no longer being published by Dread XP, who originally commissioned the trilogy. It's now being published by Black Lantern Collective, and so I managed to miss the announcement for 6 months, which was sad, but then I found out about it, and I was happy, because it's so much closer than it would have been if I'd found out about it when it was announced. But yeah, so this is the third game in the sort of like visual novel dating sim, extremely gory Lovecraftian horror trilogy that I've been well into for the past 5 years or so. Obviously this isn't a visual podcast, but my co-hosts can see my plushy Cthulhu girl behind me, declaring my love to the world. The first two games, First Date and Date to Die For, I reviewed them at whatever site I was working for at the time. It's been quite a big part of like my life and career over the last few years. Now that it's changed publishers, I don't know if this is still the end of the trilogy, but it kind of feels a bit potentially like a conclusion from what I've played so far. So the demo's pretty huge, to be fair. These aren't usually very long games, and I feel like I got like a good hour or two out of the demo, and usually these games are like 6 hours long. So I don't know if this one would be longer. There's still kind of a lot of questions around it, but the concept behind this one is that so all of these games are broadly based on a Lovecraft story, but with a kind of 90s anime presentation, and of course it's a dating sim. There's a lot going on. This one is broadly based on The Color Out of Space, and what happens in the demo is that you may or may not be a version of the protagonist from the first game. It's left a little bit ambiguous as to whether you're him, or maybe you kind of live in the same apartment building as him, or kind of occupy the same space. But like, there's definitely echoes. After the second game was like quite different, this kind of goes back to the first game in a lot of ways. And a meteor crashes into his apartment, and because of the way both Lovecraft and this series operate, it turns into this like gorgeous alien woman. Who twist is not a great old one, but she is literally like a heavenly body who has got some connection to maybe trying to stop what they've been doing over the past couple of games. Maybe that's what's going on. She's a little bit vague. She's also like, she's doing that trope that I always find a little bit uncomfortable, where she's very naive but very sexualized, but at the same time she is like so sweet.
Born Sexy Yesterday?
The Born Sexy Yesterday trope.
Is that what it's called? Born Sexy Yesterday?
Yeah.
I hate how good that is as a description.
So like, I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I do like her as a character. Like, there's a bit where the protagonist is trying to get her, because she's like, I can take on any form, and she's like flipping through all these forms. And he's like, be a hot babe. And he holds up a magazine with a picture of a busty woman on the cover being like, be a hot babe. And she turns into a magazine. And I was just like, I love that so much. She's great. I love her. Already, I think she's very sweet. But it's kind of the interesting thing about the demo for me is that these games have always been quite branching, but it's very branching. And your actions determine a lot about where the story goes, it seems, in quite a big way, in ways that the previous two games were maybe a little bit more linear, and then you came to a big branching decision. This seems to be branching pretty constantly. I think often you're looping around to the same paths again, but the thing that's interesting really about it is that it takes the mechanic that I kind of liked the least from the first two and makes it really compelling. So it's all kind of based around these timed like survival sections, which I was like, that was the most stressful part of the first two games for me. And I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about this, but it's done in like a pretty charming and fun way. So the idea is that Haley, who is the color out of space, it's spelled Heily, obviously, because she's a great old one. She
Is it meant to be Haley's Comet?
Yes, yeah.
I love it. Okay.
She needs to be fed colours. She needs to be fed the colours of the rainbow, or she'll like burn out and die. And so as you're waiting for like this comet crashes into your apartment and you freak out and you like call your friend and you call the police and all these people are sort of coming. I think this is going to be like at end of Act 1 will be when they all arrive and kind of work out what's going on. But you're just trying to keep her alive in the meantime. And so she needs to be fed the colours of the rainbow. So it's like you'll need something yellow and you'll be given the choice of like, okay, so there's like bananas in your fridge, or there's bell peppers growing out on the window box, or there'll be something else. And you'll be going through and like grabbing all different things and like seeing how she reacts to them and whether she likes them. So it's kind of got that dating sim element of like giving the gifts and seeing what the character likes. But there'll be like, she'll reject some gifts if she, and it's interesting and it's quite, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but this is like the demo, so I'm not sure. But like, if you try to feed her an animal, she'll reject it and she'll get quite angry with you for feeding her your pet. If you try and feed like a goldfish or a lizard, she'll be like, that's horrible, don't do that. Which is, it's just a really interesting, and like there are a lot of secondary characters. I think that's something that's been building through the series, but now there are a lot of secondary characters coming in and talking to you and like offering you things. Maybe they can bring you things depending on what you offer them. There's a lot going on. I think we rinsed the demo. We actually broke the demo by the end because we were so keen to try every combination. Really? We broke the demo.
Cute.
But yeah, it's just been, I mean, obviously I love the series. I was in for whatever the third game was going to be, but it has managed to surprise me again in what it's doing just by being, just the way, like, I think Akabaka is a really interesting dev because he always does something really surprising, whether it's like completely overhaul the whole format in the second game or kind of return to the original, but with quite a big twist in this one. I'm like very excited. There isn't a release date yet, but I think it's probably hopefully going to be this year by the looks of things. And yeah, love this series. Can't wait for the rest.
Ooh, it doesn't look like a horror game. It looks
so far it hasn't, it's not, there are scary, like not scary, there are horror bits, but this one I think is a lot more sci-fi.
The
but
second
I think
one
this is
went
just the opening.
Quite hard into the horror though, right?
It
because
really
I had that mechanic where you open up the doors slowly and there's stuff behind
the door
it.
thing is scary.
Yeah.
It's definitely one to watch if you, especially if you've enjoyed the rest of the series, obviously. But if you like weird takes on Lovecraft, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I think, and we've said this before, I think Rachel sits in the middle, and then I'm on one side of Rachel, and you're on the other, Rebecca. I think we've described that quite a lot in terms of the overlap of interests. I would say that me and you are probably the most diametrically opposed. Is that right? Is that the right way of saying it?
Oh yeah, I think that makes sense.
Like, we've got a lot in common, but I think there's certain genres where, like, I'm never going to get you playing a boomer shooter FPS in the same way that I think it'd be hard for you to get me to play a romance visual novel. But
except
Yoli and I played, except when Yoli and I played the first one of these games last year, we absolutely loved it. It blew us away. It's very simple. But as a series, it's very fun, and we need to play the second one before this one comes out. Like, I'm hyped for this. I think it's a really fun twist, and the fact that the basic plot of the first game is man so horny he dooms the universe is just a fun concept.
It's so funny.
For a game
like
series.
you can't help but like him, even though he's objectively worse than all of the monsters in the game. He's just still
well, they all fear him, right? He's so
Right.
horny that the old gods fear him, which is a fun twist for a game.
Indeed.
I didn't realize this was coming out. That's so exciting.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for this. I will be sure to keep you updated. And yeah, if you do play Date to Die For or the demo of this, let me know, because I really would love to hear what you think about them.
I will play Date to Die For sure. How many games do you have to talk about, Rachel?
I'm going to talk about one more and then Paranormasight very quickly because it is illegal.
Illegal.
Okay, do you want to go next then?
My next one is Creature Kitchen, a cooking
Oh.
puzzle.
Yes.
Yes, I played this back in February, and I just bought it from the Steam homepage, and I said, creepy and cozy. Okay, let's see if that's about. And it's exactly that. It starts off kind of creepy for the first like 5 seconds, and then it becomes a very adorable creature collection cooking sim. This is a game where you are walking in the woods, you find a cabin, and then you are given a book of recipes that you need to fill out, and it's like an empty book of creature entries, and the idea is you have to make food to entice creatures out from their hidey holes and feed them good food. And the raccoon, I fed that big boy some spaghetti and meatballs, and he wolfed them down like nobody's business. It's very cute. This game is like, does that really interesting thing which I found with oh bollocks, what the fuck is that game called? It's the driving one that looked like a scary game, but it wasn't. Easy Delivery Co. With Easy Delivery Co. I was like, this is a very scary looking game, but actually it's very gentle and cozy, and it has an interesting message. This is similar. This is exactly the same kind of design wise. It looks very like old school. It looks really creepy. It's like set at nighttime. The cabin is really like unsettling, but it's really, really cozy. Like the way that even the way you cut bread in this game, you have this big knife, and it's a mini game where you have to time your knife on the bread, and it goes like the noise is like ka-ching, ka-ching, like a guillotine noise. And at first you're like, Jesus God, that's like really fucking scary. But then an hour in, you're just like, yeah, my crow friend needs bread, so I gotta cut the bread up. It's just really cute. And yeah, it's like I said, a creature collection sim. The creatures get a bit more otherworldly as the game goes on. You first start with like crows and a cheeky raccoon and a very good girl, Greyhound. She is so adorable. The Greyhound in this game, oh, she's so cute. And then it goes to maybe some bit more paranormal thing, but always cute. Everything is always done in like a not scary way. It's always like,
okay, fair enough. Because I had questions about one of these screenshots on Steam.
I'm trying to think which one is it in particular.
Is it the one with the ghost at the table?
Oh, that little guy. Yeah, he is kind of he's a bit of a weirdo.
I was like, that's either a block of tofu or a ghost, and I have questions.
So if you watch the trailer, he has legs, and the way that he will just waltz up to your house, knock on the door, and then you let him in. He sits at the table, and you try and feed him food. But then he like eats it, but then he leaves, and you're like, oh, what's going on here? So he's like tied into kind of more like the end game of like when you figure out all the recipes, trying to figure out what this little guy wants to eat, like because you want to make everyone their favorite food. Cute. So yeah, it's no more than an hour and a half. This is an evening game of just hanging out with cute animals and cooking the food. There's some light puzzle work in here, so there's like. Maybe there'll be like something to do with symbols. It's all lightweight, nothing really intense. It's just so cute, and it looks like that. So, I had a really good time, and yeah, I'm really liking this mix of genres. This is one of the games that maybe in a future episode we're going to talk about genres and do they actually fucking matter anymore? What is it? This is one of the games that made me feel like that. I would look at this game before and be like, nope.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But because of this combination, it's the horror element, if it isn't an element, is purely aesthetic. So it has no relevance on the mechanics and gameplay at all. And actually, as the game goes on, the darkness and the creepy corridors and the very sharp knife you cut bread with, they become very familiar. And I think that familiarity, it starts to feel like a home, like a house. And all these cute creatures are like your friends. It's very hag coded. It's very old witch in the woods.
Nice.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna ruminate on that a bit more. I just really I like this creepy cozy, like this, the way they interact with each other. And yeah, Creature Kitchen, if you're a cozy girly, you should play this. It's cute.
Nice. Yeah, I saw it and I wasn't sure, but I added it to my wish list before you were even done talking because you've made a fantastic case for this game.
Yeah, it's like
as always.
There's a forest, and sometimes you must go into the forest, but I don't
spooky.
know when you know the game, and you're like, I know it's not gonna I don't think it's gonna scare me. I'm like 40 minutes in. Your relationship with that environment changes. Like I had with Easy Delivery Co. It's like very peaceful. It's very quiet. Instead of it being eerie quiet, it's like a calming quiet. And actually the nighttime and the fireflies and the moon, a full moon, oh god, something's gonna happen. Not here. It's just a full moon and it looks nice. Like, that's cool. I like that.
I just got to the little guy in the trailer. He does have legs. He has
little legs and he goes
nice,
he's kind of reminding me of oh my goodness, I'm gonna forget the name, but one of my favourite cryptids, which is just a pair of trousers.
You're gonna have to find
why
out and
have I
send it to
blanked
us.
the
that is-
name? Hang on.
just a pair of trousers.
Yeah.
Very cute.
Oh, the Fresno Nightcrawler, one of my favourite underrated cryptids.
Whoa.
The Fresno, what a great name.
That is
The
so funny.
Fresno
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler. You're gonna love this little dude.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, I love that.
Fresno.
Also, because everything is connected, this character is in Monster Prom now.
I don't know if I like that. That Nightcrawler. It's kind of creepy, but I think it's very much it's this character. You're absolutely right. I'm pretty sure
I feel
it
like
must be this character.
That's a reference for that character, right? Just
Okay,
'cause
some of the other images on Google are a lot cuter. I just saw the first couple, and they do not look good. They look so
Have
creepy.
you scrolled down? Some of them are so
some of them are
cute.
much cuter. Okay, I was too soon. I reacted too soon.
It's a cryptid that grows on you because at first you're just like, this is stupid, and then you're like, it's just a little guy. It's not doing anything. It's not like, it's not a harbinger of death. It's just a pair of trousers or two that want to walk around, and you're like, well, that's fair.
Love it.
Very cute. So yeah, Creature Kitchen.
Love it.
Love it. I bought this and haven't played it yet, but I'm very excited too. I just need an evening to charge through it. But I did the same as you, weirdly. I was on the Steam homepage and I was like, yeah.
Right?
I'm into that. Right. I'll buy that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. How about you then, Liam? We'll go back round in a circle.
Oh, all right. Let's talk about Mewgenics. Mewgenics. What is there to say about this game that hasn't already been said? It's probably been the biggest indie game of the year so far.
I'd agree with that.
I would say, just in terms of mind share. So if you don't know the history of this game, the reason why it became such a big deal is because it was originally announced in 2012.
God, was it that long ago?
As a follow-up to Super Meat Boy, which came out in 2010. So this is by Edmund McMillan, who is one of the 50% of the team that made Super Meat Boy, along with Tommy Refens. They had a bit of a public, not falling out, but they don't work together anymore. And I think they were making this game together, but then they sort of had their break, and then he brought it back in 2018 and started making it with Tyler Glale, who I think also helped develop Binding of Isaac, which McMillan is famous for. And then this game's just sort of been around for, 14 years, really. It was very different at first. I think it was more of like a cat fighting game or like a simulation game. But what it emerged as this year when it finally came out is a turn-based tactical role-playing game. It's also a roguelike, so you have this band of 4 cats and a bit XCOM style, a bit Mario and Rabbids style, Baldur's Gate, I guess, as well. You are on these grids and you move your cats around, and each of them have different abilities like spells or attacks, buffs, things like that, and you've got to kill enemies and progress through. And because of roguelike, you go a very traditional style. You go along these nodes. Some of them are events, most of them are battles. It ends with a boss. It's very hard, as you probably come to expect from McMillan's work. The battling bit, the bit where you're with your cats in these little arenas fighting rats with sunglasses, piles of poo, because of course you are, it's a McMillan game, other cats, bruiser cats. That bit's really fun. That bit kept me playing for about 7 hours. That bit I found to be really compelling. And I think for a lot of people that might be enough. I think the raw tactical purity is very good, and the sheer amount of buffs and weaknesses your cats can get randomly whenever you breed them can be very interesting too. They can get lots of abilities where, if you're an archer class, because you can change the class of each of your cats with collars that you unlock.
Cute.
Maybe when you shoot someone, it fires another arrow and hits another enemy. Little things like that. But it also has things like ADHD, where if you don't tell them what to do within 3 seconds, the game will decide for you.
Okay.
Wow.
And autism as well is one where I think they have increased intelligence but lower social skills. So it's like there are some like really interesting elements to it that are very fun. And the soundtrack is maybe the best of the year so far. I will say the soundtrack is very funny. It's like this light jazz soundtrack. And each biome, I guess as you call it, as you're moving through, so you start off in the streets, the music is the same. It's, instrumental, jazzy background music as you go along. But then when you get to the end boss, and it does this in every biome, it adds lyrics to that music you've been listening to for the last 20 minutes.
Love that.
And the lyrics are fucking hilarious. So the first boss you fight is like a rat that throws bombs. And the song is about a cat that kills rats. And there's a line in it that I've been listening to the song today in prep for this episode. There's a line in it that goes, in this alley, I'm the king. Smell like salmon and onion rings. And it's just that's the level of humor to it. So it's very, very good. Those are the bits I like. The reason why I've bounced off this game is twofold. One, I find Edmund Macmillan's style really abrasive, and I don't think I love it. It's very Newgrounds circa 2005. And I think if you're into like poop jokes and like, I will say like dated like depictions of there's a character in this game that's like really camp, but the joke is that he has a wife, and it's just a bit like kind of like don't love that.
Yeah, that was kind of already dated in 2012, and like that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from some of them. I mean, like not necessarily in a bad way, because there's always a good way to do like a retro appreciation of the era you grew up in, but yeah, I'll take your word for it if it's not quite hit that.
It's like, it's just very like abrasive. So when you finish a run, your cats come back to your house, and then you've got to try and breed them. So you've got to make them shag, and every time you end the day, they'll have sex, and then they might pop out a kitten. The idea being that that's how they pass on their genetics. The animations for them shagging, which you can turn off, which I thought was quite funny. The animations are good. Like they are like just crass in a funny way. Like there's ones where like they'll spin around like a drill. It's all very daft. Do you see what I mean? Like that bit's quite good, but once they've finished a run, they retire, and you can't pull them back out on runs. So you can give them to like, I think it's like an unhoused fella who eats them, and like a kid whose like grandmother is trapped under boxes and has been for like a year. And it's all very Binding of Isaac. Like, it's like edgy and grim and dark, but in a way that feels very teenagery. I've got nothing against that as a concept. I think there's a place for that, but I think I've outgrown it.
Yes, yeah, I know what you mean.
There is also like, there was a, scandal noted, a load of stuff came out about this game because he got a load of different like internet celebrities to voice the cats.
Oh, did he?
And there's quite a few names in that list that are like, haven't aged well, is maybe the right way of saying. And it's kind of hard to discern whether that was intentional that they're in there, or whether it was just because the game's been in development for so long. Like that became like a bit of a controversy around its release. Also the fact that the name is Mewgenics, and obviously let's not even start to get into that. But yeah, I think it just sort of left me feeling like a bit like gross every time I played it, which isn't really the vibe. And also, although the tactical role-playing, the turn-based tactics bit is great, and I loved that bit, the cat breeding bit is obtuse and total shit. It's so hard to know where your cats are, like trying to just discern which ones you want to send out on the next like run is really hard. I never understood in the 7 hours I played of it what stats I was passing down.
Right.
So it just ended up where I was just like not engaged with like a main part of the game, and I was like, I think I'm done. Ed reviewed this for our website.
Yes.
I think if you want to go read that, he did a really great write-up. He landed in a very similar place to I did, but he played like 20 or 30 hours of it more than me. But yeah, I guess that's the indie venture take on Mewgenics. It's all right. I don't think it's like I'd probably rather play Isaac, to be honest. I feel like tonally it worked better with Isaac as like this sort of like pseudo religious commentary, but even then I don't know where I land with this. I get why people like it, but it's not for me.
What were we just saying about how everything's been kind of like, it was pretty good. Like that's been the theme of 2026 so far. It's like, it was good.
Yeah, I've never been a Macmillan fan. Not only does the art style not appeal to me, I just as soon as you said Newgrounds humor, I might have enjoyed it if I was a teenager. I'm just not into it now. Like, regardless of like how amazing Binding of Isaac is, there was just some stuff in that game I just was not vibing with, and exactly the same for this game. I'm just a bit like, no I'm fine. I'm good. I'll just go play Creature Kitchen instead. Again, though, like, I don't know. I would play Emma McMillan's games, and it's hard, isn't it? Because it's like, this is not for me. This stuff is not for me. And it doesn't have to be for me. But then when you say shit like that, I'm like, I just feel like it's just not, there's a certain type of person this is for. It is not me. And that's fine.
I agree.
But I'm obviously not gonna like it, so. Okay.
I'm with you.
And you know what? If you'd have come on this podcast and Lima, you would have said, this is a banger game, I absolutely would have played it. But you've just confirmed everything that I could just take one look at that art style and be like, okay. So,
do you know what you should do? Is you should go on Spotify and listen to the first few tracks.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that
because they're funny and they're quirky and they're good. But no, this definitely isn't a you. No. Neither of you will like this. game.
Which is
I don't
because I looked at it because obviously it's like I like stats management games and I like cats and I don't mind weirdness. So obviously it was on my radar for a bit, and then I had the same thing as you, Rachel. I was like, I just don't feel without. Again, not everything has to be for me, and I'm fully into that, but I don't feel like welcomed by this game in a very like.
That is it. I just felt like the invite wasn't for me, girl. I was like, like I wasn't invited to the party. I feel like I wasn't invited to the party, and that's fine.
Yeah,
but it is.
I don't know. I feel weird.
It's such a good way of putting it. It feels like it doesn't want women to play it. Is that libelous to say? Like that's the vibe I get from this game.
We're all thinking it.
I mean, yeah.
It's not like we sat down and planned that. It was the three of us independently came up with that. And I know that we're quite similar people, and it's not that weird for us all to come to the same conclusion independently. But at the same time,
we'll sleep on this and see how much of this you want to cut.
I don't give a shit. I've got nothing to lose. I work for Greg's. Who cares what I think about this?
Well, my reasoning is, it's truly how I feel, but it's always that thing of like, it's not for me, like, that's fine.
Yeah.
But that is...
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Mewgenics. That's the intervention take. Rebecca, please cleanse our palate with some great horror.
Oh no, this is not going to do it. I'm sorry, this is lined up really badly. No, it's probably okay.
Well, yeah. What is it?
The second game that I played during my little mini Valentine's Day secret Next Fest is a game called My Eerie Lair. I don't know if either of you have heard of it.
No, I haven't.
One Rachel hasn't heard of. Oh my god, I'm cooking today.
Oh, there's so many. There's so many.
You found it.
So I've
look, of course, just looking at this.
I'm going to talk you through it.
She's back.
Here's the thing. Ooh. So I found this on a list of upcoming cozy spooky games that Game Rant put out in January, and it was 4 games I had on my wish list and this. So it was, what was it? Moonlight Peaks, Grave Seasons, Witchbrook, The Witch's Bakery, and this. And I was like, well, obviously I have to check this out. And then they came out with the demo. And what it is highly Rebecca coded, but there is a massive caveat to this, which we'll get to. So what you're going to see is basically I feel like Larian could probably do a cease and desist on how Astarian coded this main character is. Because it's a vampire. It's a vampire romantasy decorating game. So it's not quite Sims. You're not quite doing like the life sim thing. You're not quite building, but you are being given like these rooms to decorate with all of these like lavish, vampiric, you know, like very classic gothic, like ridiculous architecture.
Right.
The reason that I was a bit not sold on it is because it is very is yandere. It's a yandere romance, and I do not like that. I do not like yandere romances at all. My year of getting well into otome games has taught me that yandere, I don't want to touch that. It's not for me. It's like,
let me just Google what that
allow
means.
me to. Well, basically,
oh dear.
Yeah, basically it's like taken down to the sort of bare basics, it's the kind of like stalker fantasy. It's the fantasy of like being like quite controlled by an obsessive partner. And I don't get on with this at all. The yandere, the crazy one, I don't get on with that. And this is what this is about. This is about a vampire who falls in love with a human woman and so kidnaps her and keeps her in his like palace. And he's like, he's quite sexually threatening and just generally quite threatening. But what he's doing is like trying to build this perfect home so that she'll fall in love with him. And that's kind of the headline. And like, I will say, this is not like some horrible twist of this game. This is very upfront what it's marketed as. Lots of people do like yandere romance, and the content warning at the start, you can't fault it, you know? But I was like, okay, because it just ticks all of my boxes except this very big minus, I'm gonna play the demo and I'm gonna see, because I want to give it a fair chance because everything else about it is so me. And I will say the demo is fairly bare bones. There's only like the first 3 or 4 levels. And 3 of those are actually in the heroine's home that she lives in before she gets kidnapped. So it's like the sort of the opulence and the spectacle that you're expecting from this game isn't really present in the demo, which is an interesting choice to have gone with. But I will say, if they wanted to get me on board with this dude, they did about the only thing that you could have done, which is make this woman's whole life so unutterably shit that being kidnapped by this awful vampire who like really wants to have sex with her is just like actually an objective improvement no matter how you look at it. And like, and I was like, fair play. Because she is sort of living in this generic medieval European village where she is just so horribly mistreated by every man, and there don't seem to be any other women, that it was just like, you know, nothing like horribly explicit's happening, but you're also like, all of these dudes are pretty bad vibes, to the point where when the vampire breaks into her house, brutally murders her dad, you're like, okay, probably for the best though, yeah? Like this, like her situation
has actually
improved.
Saved her.
Yeah, well, not so much that, but you're like, he didn't save her from anything because he just put her in a different kind of danger. But at the same time, you're there like, but yeah, that's definitely one problem you don't have now, so that's good.
Okay.
It lays it on quite thick, but also I think it did do a good job of being like, okay, here's the situation. And honestly, you see enough of it from his point of view that you're like, I don't like this character, but like, all right, fair play. We're doing amoral vampire, and that's fine. And we're doing, this woman does not like her life, and now she doesn't have to live it. And I guess that's the best way that you can kind of frame this. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. I probably will get the full release just because I was like, okay,
yeah,
this story's a bit intriguing. There's also like it sets up an interesting, like, as I say, I hope that the decoration is a bit more fleshed out. I mean, it probably will be when you get into the like more like central environments, because you're very much on the edges of the game. Because what you're given, as in a lot of decorating games, a few targets you have to hit in every room, but then you've got free play sandbox for as long as you want to keep tweaking it. And then as long as you've hit all of the criteria for that room, then it's like, yes, play the story and then take me to the next environment. You can go back and forth a lot in like a sandbox mode. And that's pretty nicely designed. There's all these little gnomes that run around. And if you click on them enough, you like keep banishing them back to hell until they bring you treasure chests with more furniture in, which I thought was quite cute. And it's like a bit of a rogue-like inspired, I would say, in that obviously like you open the treasure chest and like 3 cards pop out and you pick one that is now like the thing that you're adding to your decor. And I'm like, that's all very, I understand where this is coming from, and it's quite cute. The gnomes are probably the best characters in the entire game.
The gnomes are really cute.
They're really cute. But yeah, it also introduces potentially like a bit of a ongoing plot in that one of the things that's happening to Mary, who I think is really the protagonist, let's be honest, she's like being pushed to marry her childhood friend who's become very like distant and conservative and like conforming in the church in their town, which is what she's sort of like in active rebellion against. But then at the end, he crops up as the sort of third main character, and it turns out he's a vampire hunter, and that's why he's been very like secretive and like freezing her out. I'm like, oh, have we got a bit of a love triangle going here? Is there going to be a little bit of a okay. So yeah, it's like I say, it's doing a very specific romantasy trope, which I know is really popular, which I don't usually enjoy, but I'm thinking if I'm going to enjoy an example of it, it's probably going to be this, because like I say, it's leaning hard on the sort of acceptable fantasy of being rescued from something in a way, I guess. But yeah, it's still, I don't know, still not loving the yandere thing.
Listen, a bunch of young women saw Beauty and the Beast growing up, and now it's become their whole thing. And each to their own.
I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum on this.
The decorating looks amazing. The art looks really good.
It does.
You know what? You have had it, girlies.
Yeah, you know what? I loved Beauty and the Beast as a kid. I get it. It's just, he's a bit much for me still, but I'm going to give it a go.
You like your soft vampire boys.
Yeah, he's not though. That's the thing. Is like I feel like when I play Baldur's Gate 3, Astarion, 3 conversations, and he will do anything that you want, and it's just like evil. What evil? But this guy, maybe a bit tougher. You know.
You know what? The developer is called Bad Vice Games. They obviously know what they're doing. They have a modus operandi with their games. So you know what? Pop off.
Well, they made
while we wait here,
just looking at
is their latest.
No, the other one.
Okay.
Where it's basically a Sweeney Todd management game. What's it called?
A Sweeney Todd. Wow.
It's Ravenous Devils. It's got really good reviews on Steam, but basically you play as like I assume like a husband wife, and it's about killing people and then turn them into pies and trying not to get caught.
Oh wow, okay, that does sound more like this.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah, one of theirs I know is While We Wait Here, which is the bartending at the end of the world, which is a bit more reflective, I think, and a bit more melancholy.
Oh, so now they've just gone full horny.
While We Wait Here came out
2024.
They're releasing like a game every year.
Every 2 years they seem to have a game out, which is like
every 2 years. Yeah,
it's a respectable pace, I think, without being outlandish. But yeah, anyway, my Eerie Lair. That's like, I don't know. I kind of do want to recommend it, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. I weirdly, as the person who brought Wedding Witch to the podcast, this is the one where I'm like, I don't want to just say that I like this without mentioning the massissive caveat, you know.
It's interesting.
I mean, like, it's a popular trope, right? And it's
incredibly popular.
And
trust me. The being in the otome space for the last year, it is almost scary to me how popular this is. But at the same time, I understand that it's like, fantasy is not reality, and people enjoy escapism in ways that I don't, and I enjoy escapism in ways that other people don't, and that's all like fine. It's not a moral issue to portray this in art, for sure. And I think that this can be well done. And I think this game may very well be a really good example of this trope. So I do want to be like, hey, if you like The Sims and yandere, you're going to love this.
Oh yeah, sure. Absolutely. And hey, great that we're in a position where an intersection like this can exist, right?
I mean, talk about genre busting. It's interesting just because there's nothing else really doing this. And that in itself is just really fascinating.
A horny furnishing game.
Sure.
Where the finishing is actually, it looks legit really good.
It does look really nice.
The furniture looks really nice.
Like I said, the disappointment of the demo is that you're not in any of these rooms. You're in the like hovel that she's in.
Let us know how you get on with it.
You get to go in the garden in the demo as well. So
I want to know more about this game.
Yes, same. Right, consider me intrigued. I'll say that much for it.
This is becoming a huge subgenre. Yoli's been playing Small Spaces recently.
Oh yeah.
I
know of that one.
And what she liked about it is that it had a bit more, because a lot of these games that come out are like, make something cute and cozy, but just because, for no other reason than just to make something creatively, right? Yeah. But what she likes about Small Spaces is that it actually has like a list of like objectives and it can give you more like guidance. So there's definitely like a market for these games. So I could understand why someone was like,
yes,
those games, but Astarion and horny.
Yeah.
That's gonna sell copies,
Yes.
right? Like,
Yeah,
guaranteed.
for
If it finds the right audience. So yeah, no, I appreciate you bringing that. Always good to see what kind of stuff you've been playing in that zone.
Yeah, it's a weird zone, but
Me and Liam looking in from the outside. Like,
yeah, peering in. Wow, it's so horny in there.
It's so steamy.
I was going to say, how do you know this room feels like a freaking sauna? I need to work out how to ventilate this place better for when we record.
Right.
Shall we do the last three, but just 5 minutes each?
Yeah, I'm happy to do
yes.
that. Mine's kind of the lesser one, so yeah.
Okay. Rachel?
Back to me. Mine is not an indie. Oops. It's the second Paranormasight game. And oh my gosh. The first game, incredible. As Rebecca knows, a fellow Paranormasight fan.
Yeah.
Just kind of released to no fanfare. Those who know how good the first game was, and so they released the second one to almost again no fanfare. They were
Right,
just like,
it's wild
it's
how they
coming
keep
out in
up
a
with
week
these.
or 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. Yeah, Paranormasight. This one is called The Mermaid's Curse. The first one was called The Seven Mysteries of Honjo. They both follow very similar arcs where it's a cast of characters in a visual novel, and you follow each of them, or sometimes they pair off. They all revolve around some sort of supernatural theme. The first one being curses and ghosts, and this one being curses again and mermaids and immortality. So, as someone who fucking loves Pirates of the Caribbean, but not the mermaid one, but you kind of know what I'm saying, I was like, yes! Not only is it Paranormasight, one of the best mystery detective games on PC that Square Enix apparently put money into, but don't really advertise a lot, okay? And now they're doing mermaids and pirate lore, kind of pirate lore, maritime lore. And it's just, yeah. Again, it was really great. I don't think it was as good as the first one. The first one is very much more horror-coded. This one is more mystery, detective, lore-coded. Oh god, Rebecca, I literally was playing this game and I could just imagine you. They're like all the lore
I can't
and
wait
the
to play this.
history. Yeah.
It's next on my list.
We talked about this before. With Seven Mysteries of Honjo, I kind of followed the story. I knew bits and pieces of the lore, and I was like, I just, it gives you so much in like reams of notes. And I was just like, yeah, I'll just read a couple of passages where I need to know them for the puzzles and stuff. Rebecca locked the fuck in and now has a fucking encyclopedic knowledge on curses in very small areas of the Japanese countryside. And I can imagine you'll be the same with mermaids after this one. So this group of people, it follows maybe 8 characters who are paired off. And some of them live on an island, some of them are visiting an island, but the reason why they're all there is because they've all brought to this location because there's a rumor of a mermaid, and if you eat her flesh, you become immortal. And so through different histories and interpretations of that mythology, each of these people have come to the island to see whether this is true for historical reasons. Maybe they want to be immortal themselves. And there's lots of supernatural shenanigans, and curses comes back. Curse stones are a thing as well in this one. So it's in the same universe as the first game.
Yeah.
It's a really good visual novel. Again, like I said, there's not as much horror elements in this one, which I really, really loved in the first one. The first one has this really amazing mechanic where it's a visual novel, but you can look 360. You can control where your character looks.
Oh, yeah.
And so they really hype up the horror of that. So that like early on, a girl's like, behind you! And you're like, fuck!
God,
and you slowly turn around
so
and there's
up.
shit behind you. So in this one, it's kind of similar. It's not so much like it's behind you. It's more like, ooh, what's over there? What's going on? And it's more the mystery and the mythology of people's motivations in this one are a lot stronger. Immortality's pretty big deal, so everyone wants to know more about it or get their hands on it. And mermaids as well. I don't think I've seen a single piece of media go into the history of mermaids, not only in like Eastern culture, but in Western culture. There's a lot of overlap, but also there's so many differences. And this game goes through all of it. And it's so, like I said before, there's so much information you can dive into, pun intended, that you can like look into yourself, but which I actually did with this one. I was like, I'm gonna engage because I like mermaids. Mermaids are cool. So, and it's just, the story is good. The characters are great. Obviously don't want to say too much because Rebecca wants to play it, so we'll save it our deeper conversation, Rebecca, until you've played it. But yeah, I think it's just really great. There's like I said, good characters, art style's great, story's great. Not as much horror elements, but they're still quite playful with the looking mechanic. There's a mechanic where you have a mirror that you hold up and you can see what's behind you without turning around, but the mirror is small. So you're like looking around. It's like, so there's still some playful elements. But yeah, Paranormasight, apparently they're going to do more because I feel like this is going to become a whole thing now, which is cool.
In Japan, they've released the first volume of a manga and a massive art book, both of which they're now like, maybe we'll do an English release. And I'm like, please do, that would be awesome.
Please!
They seem weirdly keen to franchise it. We were talking before we started recording about Life is Strange, which is also owned by Square Enix, having the exact same pattern at the moment. It's like they're not that bothered about promoting the games. They drop them with like 3 weeks notice, but at the same time they're putting a lot into like all of the supplementary, all of the books, the coffee table books, the manga, the comics, the novel like tie-ins, and it's like, what is going on at Square Enix? That is so wild.
Well, during that conversation, I glibly, said, oh, well, I don't think they're ever going to make another Life is Strange because these things are just like not getting well received. I don't think they sell well. But then the fact they made another one of these, which no one expected, Square Enix will just like, they'll just be like, oh, by the way, we've made like 3 RPGs this year that aren't in the Final Fantasy or Dragon Quest series. Go nuts.
Someone's got some sort of plan. Prolific. Yeah. Someone's got an idea over there, but I don't know what it is. It's wild.
Well, I'm sure it's whoever, if it's the same person that commissioned Balan Wonderland or whatever that game was called.
God.
Good for them. Yeah.
But yeah, Paranormasight, if you haven't played that series and you like mystery games and don't mind reading a lot of text, because again, this is a visual novel, fucking go and buy the first game. It's so fucking good. And then get this one.
I need to play it.
It's very good. Yeah. It's very good. I can't wait for this one.
Nice.
Good rec. I think Paranormasight is a honorary indie. I don't know why. It just feels right to me that it is.
Well, I mean, they don't promote it. They promote it less than a lot of indies get promoted. So, like, at that point.
Yeah, that's really true, actually. Well, in that case, Life is Strange is also an honorary indie.
I mean, yeah, they were just like, hey, it's out in 6 weeks, bye. And
okay, cool.
Have you seen that in the Discord? They have a running joke where they post Life is Strange into the indie channel. Because of the way we talk about it on this podcast.
Amazing.
Join our Discord.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to go very quickly.
Your turn.
I got obsessed with a game in the year of our devil 2020 called The Coin Game, which I fucking loved. It's by a developer called Devoted. This game's bizarre, and it just really like appealed to me because it's so endearing as a concept. It's by one person who I think was like, I really want to make a game about arcade games, but not like video game arcade games. I'm talking coin pushes. I'm talking skee ball. I'm talking
hell yeah.
Like anything that you find in a bowling alley. This is what this developer wanted to make. And then the developer was like, I assume he took a huge suck on the blunt and was like, I'd also like this to be a really sinister survival game where you play as a child who has like hunger meters and energy meters, but the world is populated by robots, but not like bipedal robots, but like they look like the kind of things you see in like American shopping centers. And like you live in a house with your grandmother robot and a live goose, not a robot goose, just a goose.
Okay.
And the aim of the survival mode is to make enough money doing odd jobs like delivering newspapers and cleaning, mowing people's lawns or looking after their robot children and tidying up after them to then go and spend it all in the arcades.
God.
And over the last 6 years of early access, it's expanded in so many great ways.
Yeah.
Because they just get like what they're trying to build here. So they're like, okay, they added a fun fair. So now you can play fun fair games, you know, like Hook a Duck, or like where you shoot the water guns to pop balloons and you win big. There's a whole system here of winning prizes with tickets to then sell in a pawn shop to then get more money to pay more.
Oh my
Play more
God.
games. They added a shopping centre with a bunch of little arcade machines in the shopping centre. They added like multiple different arcades where there's like mini golf and go-karting and like loads of different things. A little pizza parlour where you can get pizzas. And the game is just so jank. It's held together by like sticks and bubblegum. And it just feels like such a passion project.
Oh.
I used to stream this game, and the amount of just moments where you'd just be like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. Why is it in this game? The character models for the two people you can play as, boy and girl, are heinous. They look awful. You've got like a smartwatch. The UI is just terrible on it.
Oh my God.
But there is something to this. Oh, there's even like a Chuck E. Cheese style, like a bunch of characters in the starter arcade that perform a little show every like 10 minutes.
God.
And this game came out of early access this month. Or in March, sorry, came out last month. And I was really excited. You know, solo developer, 6 years in early access, maybe longer, is finally releasing this game, and it sort of felt like it was at a point where it was very jank, but maybe with a little bit of extra polish, it could sort of like go over the line. I think it was getting console versions. So they partnered with a publisher called Quayle, who I've not heard of before. They've done a few different games over the years, probably a few things you might have heard of. And it came out and it was a total disaster. Unfortunately, the game's physics engine broke, so like the coin pushes didn't work anymore.
Oh no.
Like there was just fundamental issues with the game. And since then I've been, you know, checking out the updates, the hot fixes, and the developer is having to be really like, I'm sorry. You know, I'm trying really hard to fix this. Like, it's unclear what the issues are, but it went from an overwhelmingly positive to mixed on Steam, which is such a shame. Like, there's something about it coming, like it declaring itself as 1.0, but not delivering maybe on the promise, which is kind of like knocked it back a little bit. So I think I wanted to talk about it because I did play a little bit the other day, and like, yeah, it's in a bit of a rough state right now. It's always been in a bit of a rough state, but it's sort of like reached a bit of an awkward point. I just kind of want to highlight it because this is like a game I like properly love. Like, I feel in my heart like someone is trying so hard here. And I know I said in the last episode, like, yes, okay, the game I played was silly, but I wanted to try and highlight games that like I don't think are on many people's radars, or like maybe I found. And this for me is like a classic example of this. Like, I just found this through Steam's algorithm in 2020, and I just was like, what the fuck is this? It's so cool. I think you should give it a try, you know, if it's on sale or whatever, if you want to. It's only like 17 quid. I think it drops in price fairly often.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like DevToid's not done with it. I think it's going to keep going and keep expanding. It's probably never going to be anything like particularly groundbreaking in terms of technical fidelity. But
would you want it to be?
There's something to this. No, exactly. I really wouldn't. The jank is part of it. But like, sometimes I'll just log on and I'll go in survival mode and I'll run around trying to eat pizza and sweets to get enough energy to then go and play skee ball for 2 hours, or one of the many, I think there's 50 plus arcade games in here. There's a lot. It's good stuff, and I'm rooting for the dev. I hope they manage to turn it around. This game is the good shit.
Love that.
Nice.
That's honestly so nice. Let's go. Let's all play it and leave a nice review. That's such a nice story. Like, I don't know, my heart.
I know.
I know.
It's so. I'm pretty sure I've seen this streamed at some point. It's like ringing a lot of bells, and it just does have the charm. It does have the charm. I think when you realise that there is a whole world outside the arcade, is just like it's such a moment.
Oh.
And it's like quiet. And like, normally when you go outside it's dark and you're like, is this a horror game?
Yes.
I think when I started streaming it, like, everyone in my chat was like, is this a horror game? But it just has the vibe.
Can we just take a moment to acknowledge the pipeline from is this a horror game to low-key one of the best indies that no one's ever heard of, isn't it?
Yeah,
Actually
it's a very
cozy.
big fun,
Yeah.
Aww.
But yeah, that's me. Rebecca, shall we end with you?
Yes. So, I'm gonna follow Rachel in doing a bit of a dubious definition of indie here, because I want to talk about Starsand Island really quick, which is okay. You can really argue about whether this game's, and trust me, people are really arguing about whether this game has any case to be called indie or not, because on the one hand, there's quite a lot of big publisher investment from like various publishers in China, which is where the team's from. On the other hand, it was kickstarted. It seems like although the publisher owns the IP, the team have been very much left to do what they will with it. So I don't know. It's all up in the air. Someone put it really well that I saw today was that it's funded exactly the same way My Time at Portia was. In fact, the two games have a crossover event already. So if you consider My Time at Portia indie, then this is indie. If you don't, then it's not. Let's just leave it at that. But yeah,
Well, the Discord will argue about this. We'll leave that up to them. I wish them all the best.
Have fun. I'm gonna just say there is no answer. Have fun. But yeah, it's a game that it's kind of, regardless of where you think it's kind of funding status lands, it was big enough that I covered it for work for a while, which is why I got to play it a little bit. It's an early access at the moment. It's going to be an early access until summer, hopefully, when it will get its console and its 1.0 release, but it's currently in early access on PC. And it's kind of, like I say, it's kind of one of the big enough things that it kind of pings the AAA sites, like the one I work for. It's essentially doing Stardew Valley, but in a sort of more 3D kind of over-the-shoulder sort of, and very much more Chinese, Japanese inspired. So if that sounds like your thing, you're probably gonna like have some fun with it. I have enjoyed my time with it so far. And literally, as I say, the only thing is, whether this is a criticism or the exact reason you want to play it, I'll leave it up to you. It is pretty much exactly Stardew Valley, with a few differences. I mean, not to the point where I think it's like outright plagiarism, but if it is just like exactly, you know, if you think Stardew Valley created a genre and then a lot of other things went and did that genre, this is a very closely patterned on that whole genre. It does some stuff. It does some stuff like of its own, enough that I think any other game that's clearly inspired by Stardew Valley has equal like right to claim that it is its own thing. And I will say this as well, because my main problem with the game is the same problem I have with Stardew Valley, which is eventually I just get overwhelmed and kind of drop it, because I'm like, there are so many systems. It's like, it's one of those kind of like social life farming sims with like a careers system. And at the point where you're juggling 6 jobs and the farm and all of the daily tasks on the farm, and you're trying to decide who to marry out of the 20 romantic candidates, and you're just like, oh man, I am just a little bit overwhelmed here. But it is very cute and very fun. I like the art style a lot. I think that it's allegedly Studio Ghibli inspired, and I think that like they ran a long way from Studio Ghibli by the time they landed on their eventual art style, but I kind of see what they're getting at. It's just, you know, again, if you like that cozy game, if you're looking for something to scratch that Stardew itch, maybe wait for it to come out of early access, because there's still obviously a few things that are being worked on. It's not a live service game, but I think they are planning to keep expanding it through like DLC and regular updates, so it will have again that like Stardew feeling to it. There's plans to add, you know, more seasonal stuff, more romance candidates, more outfits and what have you. But yeah, it's just cute. It's a cute game if you want like a cute farming sim in your life. I recommend this one. I am in a mine currently in my save. I am in the mines. There is a whole other map under the map that is just the mines map. And I'm like,
god.
Oh shit.
It's really cute though. It's like, in terms of the way that they've visualized the mines, rather than just sort of like being a dark underground area, it's almost like an enchanted forest underneath the island, which is a very nice way of doing that sort of thing.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's really fun, but you're like, if you forget to play it for a few days and you didn't take notes, boy, good luck remembering what you were meant to be doing. Which again is exactly my issue with Stardew Valley, is that you need your murder mystery notebook and you need your farming sim notebook, because these games are not helping you track
those
that.
2 notebooks are the same for me, actually. The start of that notebook is all my Stardew notes from years ago.
Like, do you flip it over and then you like work from the back for another one?
Oh yeah, you like turn it around like those magazine covers used to get.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a cute little game. I enjoyed my time with it. I was, you know, it was a fun thing to work on for a few weeks, and yeah,
nice.
You know what you're getting into if you know Stardew. So
Yeah.
take it from there.
Yeah, I like it. No, good dispatches from the front line of the social life sim. So,
Yes.
I think one of these I might have picked up if I still wasn't slowly picking my way through Story of Seasons.
Oh yeah,
Gone
absolutely.
Bizarre.
That's obviously the grandfather franchise would be Story of Seasons, and then
Yeah, absolutely. But no, that seems good. Yeah, I think I might pick that up when it's a little bit cheaper. And once it's got all this content out,
it's going to be on Switch too. Because
Ooh, okay.
I was going to get to
good home.
I was going to get to demo it on Switch too, and then they had to delay the demo to the day I moved house, and I was so disappointed.
Yes.
Classic.
Never mind.
Brill. Well, that brings us to the end of this section.
Lovely.
And I think considering the three of us were like, not really too sure we've got much to talk about, I feel like we've covered a lot of stuff here in quite good detail.
Yes.
I think we're great, and people should give us money. It's co-fi.com/indie venture.
Interesting idea.
So great. Please get these new microphones. Welcome to Hyperfixations. I'm going to go first because I should probably talk about Resident Evil Requiem.
Oh, yes. I wonder what you think. Yes.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah? Honestly, like, how do you think it compares to the rest of the... Like, what were your expectations? Were they met? Like, as a long-time Resi fan? Like, I really want to know what every, like... I know you said 5 minutes, but you can take my 5 minutes.
No, I'm not going to do that. So I want to hear your opinions too. I'll be quick. So as you might remember, earlier this year, I made the rank decision to play through Resident Evil 6, and I did finish it. I finished that game.
Wow.
I finished that piece of shit. Yoli was getting so annoyed at me because she was like, "You're hating this. Why are you playing it?" I was like, "I've got to do it. I've got to finish it." Playing Requiem after playing that was like seeing colour for the first time after living in a world of black and white. I was like, "Oh my god, yeah." These games can be good. I loved it because I'm a Resi fan, right? I think it's the best modern Resi game they've done. By unifying the Ethan Winters first-person style of play with the remake over-the-shoulder style of play.
Yeah.
They've made a game that balances tension better than any of the other games. My biggest issue with Village was that they wanted to have their cake and eat it too, with the intense, almost PT style horror that they tried to do in 7, but also with the action that they wanted to bring in from other Resi games, made a game that felt very uneven in some ways. Like, I love Village, I think it's great. I've never replayed it because I can't. It's kind of twofold. The House Benito bit with the big baby is almost too scary to ever go back to, and the end bit where you're just fighting loads of random werewolf lads is so dry. I just feel like everything else sort of like gets left to the side. I'm like, I'm going to go back because of those two bits. What I loved about this is that by just putting Leon in it and just having him as just a release of tension means that you can be way scarier with Grace by having this character who is so weak and is so, like, you can take away all of her agency and all of her power and then have Leon just be like, here's your power fantasy bit. And I think they do that balance beautifully for the first half of the game. I think the first half of this game is probably the best Resi's been in a long time. Going around that mansion or the hospital as Grace, the zombies and the way that they're designed, the feeling of powerlessness you have, incredible, absolutely incredible. And then the way that it cuts to Leon for very brief bits, the bit with the chainsaw in this game where a zombie drops the chainsaw and it rattles around the floor. The most I've laughed at a game in a long time.
Good.
So good. The second half, I think, from a fan service perspective, was as enjoyable for me. I loved going back to Raccoon City. There's so many references to Resident Evil 2 in this game, which is great, from Leon's perspective. I wish maybe they'd gone a little bit further with it. I think it sort of does a lot of the original cast quite dirty by focusing it purely on Leon and Sherry. There are elements of this game where you're sort of like, well, what about Jill, Claire, Chris, all these other people that were there, because there's a huge plot involving Raccoon City. But also I don't hate it because this is a big, silly, dumb camp game and like who gives a shit. Like they went as far as I would have liked them to. They play with player expectations in a very funny way with one character who I won't name. But if you're a fan of the series, when that character's on screen, like me, I fell to the floor. I fell off the settee and pointed at the screen and shouted his name. And then it turns out it's not them, and that's very funny.
Okay.
And the way that they play with that's very good. But I think it's very, very good. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. It's a heart 9. It's a head 8 or a 7.
Yeah, that's fair.
I sort of think it's very classic Resi in that it's like they don't really know what they're doing. They sort of like maybe lose a bit of steam towards the end. I want them to have another go at this. I want to see another one where it's another character and like Jill is the Leon or Chris is the Leon, but they balance it a bit more.
Yeah.
I am the biggest fan of Resident Evil 4 in the world, potentially. And I still think they probably could have like done a little bit less of the Leon stuff, honestly. I don't think I needed like a full like Resi 4 redo in the second half.
Yeah.
Like I was happy with him just showing up and just like being a bit powerful and then going back to Grace. But good, very good. Looked fucking phenomenal on PS5.
Oh yeah, I played on PS5 as well.
Why people buy PS5 Pros, I don't know, when the PS5 still looks that good.
Right.
But yeah, good game. How did you two find it?
I just watched a playthrough when it got released, and I enjoyed it, except for I don't like spiders, so I had to cover my eyes.
That bit is scary.
And I was like, Henry, tell me when it's over.
I think for me, the main issues were that they front loaded too much good stuff in the hospital, and then it's just more labs, and I was like, that's too much labs. In the latter half.
Welcome to Resident Evil.
Well, indeed. Because Mick and I played it together. He was on the controls for this playthrough because it was his birthday present this year. And we both pretty much had the same take, which was that we have really loved the sort of, I guess, the RE Engine trilogy of 7, 8, and 9, if you can call it a trilogy. It's probably our least favourite in that, but we still enjoyed it like immensely. The switching between Grace and Leon was really well done. Loved how they handled that. How they handled the difference in perspective, and that like because of the default way of like Grace as first person and Leon as third person, it really did feel like that kind of tactile's not the right word, but I can't think of the other word. Like that way of handling that switch that felt really real and really, again, literally just the change in perspective was so good. And yeah, the hospital section was super spooky. But like you, I was kind of expecting a little more from the big touted return to Raccoon City. I think that it kind of, this is not a criticism against Requiem because pretty much all Resi games do this, but man, it just ends. It's just kind of like
they all
we're
do.
done.
Yeah.
We're tired of making Resident Evil now, so we're done.
Yeah, we're done. Sleepy now. End of game.
Exactly. Well, we'll do a DLC or something to fix all those plot holes, and we're done. But no, I did enjoy it a lot. It was really good fun.
Fix plot holes in Resident Evil? No.
Yeah, no, we enjoyed it a lot. I think we're going to do another playthrough fairly soon. Also,
cool.
We did it all with the noir outfit pack on, and I wasn't so sure about Grace's outfit at points, but Leon in the suit was definitely the way to play this.
Hold on. You played you played the game for the first time with the DLC outfits on.
It was my partner's birthday. He got to choose the outfits, okay? What can I say?
Michael. Does Mick even still listen to the podcast?
Yes.
Pal.
Obsessively, yeah.
That's no. I can't be doing with that. It's not nah. I find that so strange. It's like if you played the Silent Hill 2 remake as the Shiba Inu.
Yeah,
like,
you know what? We've never done that before. It was a little bit of a like, shall we put him in the suit?
Oh my god, he looks like Kyle Hyde from Hotel Dusk in the suit.
It does.
Oh my god,
good
so
pull.
What the fuck?
I guess him in the suit is fine. Okay, I do get it. But but he takes his jacket off and he does the Resi 4 thing in the base game. And
the tight black little t-shirt with
Yeah, exactly.
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's okay, guys. We're watching the
Slutty little
Scary
t-shirt.
Game Squad Let's Play now, so we are seeing it with the original outfits as well. We're
Nice.
not missing out. We knew they were going to play it with the original
Little
outfits,
slutty
so we
black
were like,
t-shirt.
we will play it with the. And you know what? No regrets. He looks great in that suit.
He does look great in that suit. You're not wrong.
It's a great suit.
Love that.
Resi good. surprising no one, Liam liked Resident Evil and had a nice week with it. Rachel, do you want to go next?
Yes. Last time I talked about wrestling, and that was something that when me and my friends were in Scotland, we would come home and we'd watch wrestling. But halfway the holiday, my friend suggested we start watching Golden Girls, and I was like, fuck it, let's start watching Golden Girls. This explains a lot.
So Rachel's Discord avatar changed the other day. And, I wondered if this was happening.
I want to say Blanche.
No, that's Dorothy.
No?
That's Dorothy.
That's Dorothy, okay.
So we would go for a walk, come back, watch some wrestling, and then end the night with some Golden Girls. And you know what? Where the fuck has this show been all my life? Like, do you ever watch something you're like, I can't believe I didn't watch this sooner? That's how I feel about Golden Girls.
That's so
I
funny.
fucking love Golden Girls. If Mewgenics is one end of the scale, Golden Girls is like the other end of the scale in terms of like, they couldn't be further apart. These are the two genders, Mewgenics and Golden Girls. Like, I was just so surprised. I've just discovered that I love all four of these women, and I love that old women can talk about dating and sex and just like all this stuff that obviously old women can joke about this kind of shit, but I did not know this was going on TV, and like it's so fucking funny. I feel like I've discovered something that it's just now become like an instant part of my personality. Like I don't know, I just love these women, and they're old, and they're funny, and I love them all. And I'm in my Golden Girls era, and
I love that.
Love this for you.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
This tracks. This feels like this was inevitable.
I now love Dorothy Spornak from Golden Girls and Mick Foley from WWE.
Oh, that is so
because I was like, do I make
Mick
Mick Foley my Discord? Because I was gonna go for it. I was like, maybe I should make Mick Foley, and I was like, nah, no, she's Queen. Gotta put the Queen as the Discord avatar. So yes, I'm enjoying Golden Girls. I'm doing it. I'm not binging it. I'm taking it really slow. I watch maybe one at lunch, and then I just wait a day, watch another one.
Love that.
Nice.
This is great. I want to be all four of these women when I'm old. I hope to have the sass and the style of these women when I'm older. So
should we get a Golden Girls house together?
Oh
yes,
Golden Girls
house when we're
but maybe not in Miami. Yeah. Maybe we'll get one in like
maybe not.
What's the equivalent of the UK for Miami?
Blackpool,
I
guess. Okay, yeah, I do like Blackpool. I like Blackpool.
It's a very specific joke.
But yeah, there you go. I
love that.
It's Golden Girls.
I mean, it is like, I've not seen a lot of it. I feel like it's one of those shows that I've seen mostly through like Pushing Up Roses doing reaction videos. But I have like such a place in my heart for Golden Girls and for Murder, She Wrote, just from those videos, and also from like seeing little bits of it when I've traveled to the States. And like, you might like this. I'll try and find this for you later. Mick showed me over the weekend. Someone has done a Warhammer Adeptus Sororitae, which is his main army. 4 of those as Golden Girls, and like the it's so good. Like it's the best. Just on a technical level, it's the best Warhammer paint you've ever seen.
Okay,
and it is literally the Golden Girls as the Adeptus Sororitae.
Yes.
That's so good. I will find that for you later because it's really good.
Please and thank you.
But I'll do my hyperfixation first.
Yes,
and then
I'll you go, girl.
Yes, please do.
So yeah, this is an interesting one for me because in terms of like my journey through this piece of media has almost been an anti-hyperfixation. It has taken me just under 6 months to read a novel, which is really rare for me. I read really fast.
Yeah.
And it's like I didn't even really consciously drop it at any point. It's just taken me a long time. But I finished it this week, or last week rather. And I just want to talk about it because it's Battle Royale, the original 1999 Battle Royale novel by Kushin Takumi.
I saw you'd read this, yeah.
And it was like a piece of media that I knew that I had to read because it is so influential on all the things I love. It is clearly a big inspiration for the Hunger Games. It is name-checked by the creators of Danganronpa and Squid Game as like big inspirations for the what they made. It just kind of, it wasn't the first like deadly game story, but it was kind of the one that elevated that to the popularity that's kind of like sustained now for nearly 3 decades on and off, like throughout. And like obviously as a games, as a games media person, the fact that it's literally, there is a genre named after it now, that the genre Battle Royale is directly named after this novel, really, although arguably more after the movie. But yeah, it's just obviously big influence, one that I wanted to check out for a while. I read it really slowly, not because I wasn't enjoying it, but because it was literally and metaphorically heavy going, and it just so happened to coincide with the exact 6 months where I was buying a house and was really stressed and like really distracted all the time. So it was difficult to get through in that sense, but it's actually a pretty easy read. I read the original translation, which has now been superseded at least once, but I decided I wanted to read the original English translation first. If I reread it, I'll read it in one of the other translations, which are apparently better. But it's an interesting read, because when you're really into a genre that has been spawned from a point and you go back to that starting point, it is really that, again, to talk about like the TV tropes terminology, it's the Seinfeld is unfunny thing a lot of the time.
Right.
It's like it's sort of anthropologically really interesting to see where all of these things come from that you love. And it's like, there's the very classic, like, there's like the main two, there's the main boy and the main girl. And then there's like, oh, this character survived a previous game and has been pulled back in, even though they were told that they would never have to do this again. And all of that, like, it's so tropey, but it was creating those tropes. And so you've really got to give it its due for, like, you can't complain that it's really tropey when it's like those tropes exist because of this novel.
Yes.
So yeah, I hope to watch the film soon. I don't know if I'll tackle the manga.
Have you never seen the film?
I have never seen it because I like to read the book first, usually with films. So
can I point something out that you need to pay attention to when you're watching it?
Yes. It's
quite infamous because in the final scene, one of the characters has like a full-on erection.
I didn't know that.
It's like one of those like really weird trivia things that once you know it, you just can't unsee it.
Oh,
it's like,
wow.
He's just lying on a boat and he's just like rock hard. It's so strange.
Oh, okay.
I mean, fair enough.
The movie is like I think if you felt that about the book, you'll feel that even more about the movie. The movie
absolutely,
feels more tropey.
Movie's a lot.
Yeah, I feel like the movie and the manga are actually what inspired most. Like, I feel like the book was adapted a couple of times, and that was what actually became the more direct inspiration for a lot of subsequent media. But yeah, I'm really glad I read it. I enjoyed it. If I ever decide to tackle it again, I'll probably look at one of the newer translations. But yeah, it's novel enough in its own way that it took me 6 months to read a book. So
yeah,
that's.
It's so heavy going. I read it when I was like 14, and
oh my god, dude, yeah,
it was a tough read. Yeah. At
the same time, like, when I was 14, I was reading all sorts of like age inappropriate shit because that is how I grew into the person I am today, and I think that's a good thing actually. But I know what you mean. It's a lot of it. There was a point in the middle where it's like it was just that point where it all actually starts, and you get to a character is introduced, you get to know them for a few pages, and they die, and that just rolls on for like about 8 iterations before anything else happens. And it's just like, man, I knew this wasn't going to be like fun, but that's still kind of too much sometimes. But it is well worth the read.
It's funny to think of like the domino effect of, Battle Royale is published to Fortnite is the biggest video game on the planet. Like, it's crazy that's a threat.
I was actually thinking about, because obviously with for no good reasons really, Epic Games being in the news over the last couple of weeks as I was finishing the book, it was on my mind a lot to be like, that's so weird to look at the banana peel man running around and be like, and then there's the bit,
the inspiration,
and just then go back to the book and it's like, and then he died. I don't want to give any like particularly gruesome. It's like, and then this character you like died horribly, and it's like Banana Man, and you're like, okay,
great, love that, great contrast.
What an odd journey we've all taken together.
Well, that brings us to the end of this here podcast. As we said up top, I mean, thank you so much for listening, everyone.
Yes.
This is like episode 57. It's wild that you're still listening, and we really appreciate it.
Yes.
Actually, can I quickly read out a review that someone left on our Apple Podcasts?
Okay.
Because we don't get a lot of reviews on Apple Podcasts anymore. Remember, 4 stars or below. We don't want to know. But if you do want to leave us a review, we'd love it. But someone called Link TTP 105 said, if you like indie games, however you define them, you need to be listening to this podcast. When a new episode comes out, I drop whatever else I was listening to and plug right in. The hosts are witty, lovely to listen to, and have a great rapport with one another. You will never know how an episode will go. For example, the recent Christmas episode had me bawling with laughter due to a surprise musical number by a one-off side character based on a regional accent. I've been listening since the Redacted podcast days, and every episode has swings from slightly or extremely unhinged rants to sober discussions of journalism and gaming. Please never change. So thank you so much for that review. It's like so lovely.
Thank you so much. That's lovely.
And it's so nice. So thank you, Link TTP105, for that review. Really appreciate it. And if you also like what we do here, please, money, please. Any amount that you're willing to give us would be super appreciated, very humbling. And like I say, the first 5 people to donate £5, you'll get some stickers in the post and a small thing from me as well. But anything that we receive is going to really help just with operating costs, just making this podcast sound a little bit better. And also, I should probably say the link again, co-fi.com/indieventure. And also a huge thank you to Simon. Thank you, Simon. Oh my God, Simon. The new branding looks so good. I can't wait to see it on Spotify and where people are listening. But yeah, I guess that's it. Bye.
Woo. Bye.
Bye.
So blunt. Goodbye.
Bye.
Like a Resident Evil game, we just end. We're done with the podcast now. Get out. Indie Venture is a video games podcast created, produced, hosted, and edited by Rachel Watts, Rebecca Jones, and me, Liam Richardson. For more information, including a list of every game we mentioned in this episode, make sure to check out our website, indieventurepodcast.co.uk. You can get in touch by sending your questions, comments, and feedback to contact@indieventurepodcast.co.uk. You can support the show by rating us 5 stars and leaving a review on Apple Podcasts or your preferred podcast provider of choice. Some of the games we talk about on the show may have been provided to us for free for review consideration. Our intro music and stings were composed for us by Ollie Newbury. Check the episode description to hear more of his excellent tunes. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you again in 2 weeks for another episode of Indie Venture. Bye for now.